Hello, Erica here, and I am here today with the first hashtag BookTubeSFF Babbles topic. This is done through the BookTube Science Fiction and Fantasy Awards, which I did not really follow along with last year, but I'm very interested in this year. And every week, I believe, there is a new topic, and people can make videos about the topic or discuss them on their blogs or just discuss them in the Goodreads group, which I will link below. So this week's topic is Shirtless Reactions. The shortlist for the awards were announced on the 29th of February, and I have some reactions. First of all, I am shocked by how much of the shortlist I have read. As someone who does not read a ton of science fiction and fantasy, and who really only just started getting into adult science fiction and fantasy like last year, I am very impressed with myself, I must say. So, that's exciting, because I don't have much catching up to do. Some things surprised me. And I guess I'll talk about each of the nominees kind of individually. In the Best Novel category, there are 4 nominees, 3 of which I have read. I have already read The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, which I adored. I read A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which I enjoyed a lot, and it was really fun, and the world building was really cool. And I read last year when it first came out, Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson, which is the 5th Mistborn book. Technically, it's the 2nd book in the Mistborn follow-up series, so not the original Mistborn trilogy, which in my opinion is far superior. But this one's really fun too. It's like Mistborn meets the Wild West. And so I enjoyed this as well. The one nominee in the Best Novel category that I have not read is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. And I am not sure that I'm going to read this yet. A lot of people were really excited about this book when it came out, and I don't know if that's because it has a beautiful cover in the UK, or because people were genuinely interested in the story. But I know a lot of people were talking about it. They were very excited to read it, and then a lot of them were very disappointed by it. But it was nominated, so obviously a lot of people also really liked it, and maybe I just haven't met those people. So I might try it. I'm still undecided, and I need to decide really soon if I'm going to do that or not, because I need to buy it. Let me know if you think I should read it. I think that I should, because I think it's only fitting that since I've already read the other 3 best novel works, that I should just read the 4th. I have read 0 of the books from the best young adult category, which is no surprise at all. So those nominees are Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I've never read anything by Rainbow Rowell, and honestly, I had no idea that Carry On was science fiction and fantasy. I didn't even know really that that book existed. I'm totally out of the loop with new releases in YA, and that's just because I don't read it very much. Nothing against those who do. Second work in the Best YA Novel category is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I know literally nothing about this one either. And again, I don't know how I feel about picking it up. The third and final book in the Best YA Novel category is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I believe that this is part of a series, or the beginning of a series, but other than that, I don't know anything about this. I do have a coworker, however, who I believe has read these books and really enjoyed them. So, I'm going to pick up at least one of these 3, and I'm going to do a little bit more research before I decide which one it's going to be. Right now, I would say it'll probably be either Carry On or Six of Crows. But again, I know nothing about Illuminae yet, so if I read about it and decide that that's what I want to go for, then that's what I'll go for. It would be cool if I could get to all 3. I probably could get to all 3 because YA reads quite quickly. I have a lot of other priorities in my reading right now. So that's kind of a time restraint thing, and I'm not sure whether or not I will read them. I have actually read all 4 of the Best Graphic Work nominations, which is not so surprising. They are The Wicked and the Divine, Volume 2, Fandemonium. This is by Kieran Gilvin, Jamie McKelvey, Matthew Wilson, and Clayton Cowles. And I didn't love this as much as I loved the first volume of The Wicked and the Divine. I certainly did enjoy it, but it's not something that I personally nominated for the Best Graphic Work category. The next one is probably no surprise to anybody. This is Saga Volume 5. Again, I've read this. I read this right when it came out, which I believe was last January, wasn't it? Wasn't it January of 2015? Maybe not. Maybe it was later than that. I don't remember. Anyway, I read this right as it came out. I could probably give this one a reread because I don't remember a terrible lot about what specifically takes place in this volume as compared to the other ones, so I might reread this and see how that goes. The next book was one of my favorite books of 2015, and I am thrilled that it's on this list. I did actually nominate this one, and that's Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I've talked about this a lot, but I love this, and I'm very, very, very excited to see it on the shortlist. And the last one I just read last week, and had I read this before I submitted my nominations, before nominations were closed, I would have nominated this instead of a different book, graphic novel that I nominated, which I won't mention here. But it is Descender Volume 1 by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, and it's fantastic. I have also not read anything from the best short work category, but I am planning on reading all 3 of these. I don't know anything about them really, but I'm very excited about them. And they are Binti by Nettie Okorafor. I've never read anything by Okorafor, and I'm very intrigued by her work, so this will be a great kind of starting place for me in that regard. The other one is Midnight Hour by Mary Robinette Kowal, and again, I know nothing about this. I know nothing about the author, even. I don't think that I've ever heard of her, which is probably a terrible shame. And the third one is Perfect State by Brandon Sanderson. Obviously, I'm familiar with Brandon Sanderson. I am a little shocked. I guess I'm not shocked. There are 2 works by Brandon Sanderson on the shortlist, and honestly, I feel like a lot of people on BookTube feel like Brandon Sanderson can do no wrong, and don't get me wrong, I love the shit out of the Mistborn trilogy. It's fantastic. I'm entirely impressed by other books of his that I've read, so I'm interested to give this a shot. We'll see how I feel about it. I just think Sanderson's such a popular author on BookTube that it makes sense that he's on the shortlist twice, because I feel like a lot of booktubers, whether or not they're religious readers of science fiction and fantasy, are familiar with his work and read his work. So I guess it's not shocking to me that he's on there twice. I personally did not nominate anything by him, so I don't know. I'm not trying to diss Brandon Sanderson. Like I said, the original Mistborn trilogy is very close to my heart, but I'm a little surprised that he's on there twice. As for reactions to the other ones, I can't talk about anything in the best short work or best YA novel categories because I haven't read any of it, and I literally am totally out of the loop on those. I think the best graphic work category is really solid. I think that's going to be a tight one. I think that one's going to be really tricky for the judges, so good luck to you all. But there's a lot of fun reads going on there. And I'm super excited about the best novel category. I already do have a favorite, obviously. But I still haven't read Uprooted, so who knows? I might end up loving that, and I might decide that that's my favorite. But I do think that of the 3 that were chosen, there's a good variety of fantasy. Not a lot of science fiction going on this list. Descender is science fiction. I don't know about the short works or the YA, but I think all the YA are fantasy. I'm not real sure. But really heavy on the fantasy. Some people have been talking about this in the Goodreads group, and I agree with them that it's not super surprising, as I do believe that BookTube in general kind of reads more fantasy than science fiction, and a lot of the science fiction that came out in 2015 seemed to be letdowns for some people, or just really huge books that people haven't had time to read yet, so they obviously weren't nominated because not as many people have read them yet. Some in particular that I'm interested in reading, but again, I haven't gotten around to them. I did nominate a science fiction work for the best novel category, and that was Ancillary Mercy by Ann Leckie, but that did not make it onto the list. That, again, was just released in October, so I'm sure a lot of people still have yet to get to it, plus it's the 3rd in a series, so I didn't really have high hopes for it getting on the list, but I thought I'd throw my 2 cents out there. This is getting really rambly, so that's all I have to say. If you are going to read along with the books before the winners are announced, please let me know down below in the comments, and if you have any thoughts on any of these, or an opinion on which, if any, or all of the YA nominees I should read, please let me know, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!